Good morning, friends. Today I am going to explain you the chapter on Introduction to the Maps. This is a very important chapter. It is a part of the syllabus of class 11th of NCERT. Now, in this first chapter, they have just given you an introduction of what maps are and how important they are and how they have been constructed. So, here we talk about a map, which is actually a simplified depiction of a part of the earth or the entire earth, but it is represented on a piece of paper. So, it's a two-dimensional form of the earth. If you compare a map with a globe, the globe is a true representation of the earth because it's a three-dimensional representation. On a globe, we can see the actual shape of the earth, which is geoid or spherical. But on a map, we basically represent the earth on a paper, which is a plain sheet of paper. So it is not the actual shape of the earth, but we can depict the different features and different landforms on this particular paper. So here on the map, we basically use a scale. So scale is nothing but it's a representation of a certain part of the earth on a piece of paper. So this is how we do projection and scaling. So we are reducing the surface of the earth on a small piece of paper. So that representation and reduction is called as a scale. So before a map is to be prepared, we have to determine what should be the scale of our map. It can be a large scale map, it can be a small scale map. So a map is therefore a depiction of the earth using different symbols and different there are different colors and shades. So it is the representation of the earth or a generalized representation of the earth on a piece of paper. So here we have the essentials of map making, that is what are the steps that is to be taken by a cartographer to prepare a map. So cartography is the art and science of making a map, and the person who makes the map is called a cartographer. So when a cartographer is preparing a map, he has to take some essential processes to prepare the map. So the series of processes is scaling, map projection, map generalization, map design, map construction and production. The first, as I told you, is called a scale. That means that maps are basically reductions. Okay, so the entire earth or a part of the earth is to be represented on a piece of paper. So this entire piece of land has to be reduced on a smaller scale. So the first decision that a map maker or a cartographer has to take is to decide on the scale of a map. So it can be a large scale map or it can be a small scale map. So whether it is a large scale map or it is a small scale map, it depends upon the information that the map is actually representing or it is showing. Alright, so that means that we can have a larger piece of land that can be depicted on a smaller scale of map, or we can have a small piece of land or a region that can be showed on a larger scale of map. Then we come to the projection. Now projection means that it is a representation of the surface of the earth on a plain sheet of paper. So basically it is a kind of a fraction in which we divide the total land area or the area which we are depicting the surface of the earth on the scale, on a smaller scale. Okay, so it is a representation of the surface which is to be reduced on a small piece of paper on a smaller scale. This is called as projection. So when we are projecting all the surfaces of the earth or the features that we are depicting on the surface, that is to be projected on a piece of paper, which is a plain sheet of paper, that is called as projection. So all the important aspects of the geoid surface has to be projected on a smaller piece of paper. This is called as projection. Okay, so the third point is generalization. What is generalization? That means that whatever map that we are making, it has to be generalized on a particular theme. So basically most of the maps are thematic maps. So a cartographer has to decide that what should be the theme of the map, or what the map should be based upon, whether it is a relief feature map, whether it is a soil map, whether it's a drainage map, whether it is a settlement map, a population map. So what is the theme of the map? That is very essential, which will represent the information that we want to depict on the map. To talk about the map design, a cartographer has to design the map. So once he has decided upon the theme of the map and has collected information about the map or whatever he is going to depict in the map, he has to present the map in a very attractive way and in a very suitable way. So he has to select the kind or the right kind of symbols which he is using to depict different kinds of physical features, and he also has to determine the size of the map, because all the information has to be completely depicted in the map. He also has to choose the different colors and the shades which will symbolize the different physical features. So all the elements that he is going to use in the map have to be very effective, very attractive, and should also clearly uh, portray whatever he is going to whatever he is going to present in that particular map. Then we have the map construction. After all this has been decided, the cartographer has to use different techniques to construct the map. That is a very important major task of the cartographer. So he has to construct the map, and he also has to reproduce the work. That means he has to print out different copies of it so that it can be distributed. He can also do it manually by using different colors and ink, pen, and then it has to be printed mechanically. So these all are the different processes that the cartographer has to use in order to prepare a map.